Hello Capricorn, it is my intention to share with you today the reading that is going to provide you with the map that you will be crossing this first 6 months of this new year. And while I usually don't like working with the future, as I don't really think it makes sense, I do believe that this is a good idea because, as I said, it gives you a map, so you'll be aware of the challenges that are going to be ahead of you, and hopefully so that you'll be ready for them. You'll be able to tackle them in the right way, and you won't be overwhelmed by life, many difficult situations. So I originally thought about doing the video with 12 months, but I think 6 months is better because it allows me to focus more on these particular 6 months, especially because I can give you with 2 different perspectives each month. One that is related with life in general, which is what I think is the most important for you to discover the theme of the overall life theme. But as I've seen from your comments, I think that including a second card that it's only related with love is also a good idea. So these are the 2 cards for each month. Anyway, let's get to your reading. January starts off the Magician reversed. Now I love this card, and if it appears reversed, I still love it because it means that you can reach far beyond what you think right now. Your capacities go beyond what you imagine, and that's actually hurting you because you think that you are gonna receive less than what you actually could. So basically, what you have to do is realize that your limitations are coming from your mind. That whatever you want, you can achieve. And that this month is going to test you on that, because right now the tendency is that it's not really that you fail, but that you can't reach your maximum potential this month, which you should, because it is a good idea. It is aligned with your dreams, with your willpower. So in January, the warning I can give you, or the message, is please believe a little bit more in yourself, and that you actually have the right tools to pull off whatever dreams you are thinking of right now. Don't be limited. Don't be limited. Any kind of limitation comes from your mind. If you realize that truth, simple truth, but that hides a very deep realization that you are the center of everything, then you should be alright. In any case, you're gonna be discovering that about yourself. And when it comes to February, 7 of Swords upright, which means that you still have some tendencies, you still have a way of thinking that is causing you harm. There's something that needs to stop. Either you are deceiving someone or someone is deceiving you. You really don't know the whole situation, or you think you can get away with something, and I would actually advise against that, because look, if you're gonna do something, do it properly, be transparent, be honest. Don't try to pull off any tricks or any shortcuts. It's not gonna pay off in the end. It never does. Even if it works, it only works for what? The people who are really skillful with this kind of tricks and behavior, they can pull off like 15 years of a lifetime that's actually good, but then there is a bill you have to pay at the end for every action you take. That's the only thing I want to tell you right now. There's a consequence for everything. And if you're doing something that is not really good, and you know it's not good, but you're still doing it because you think you can get away with it, think twice, please. Don't do that. Instead, why don't you change your behavior and remain steady in your own truth and act in a way that gives you maximum return for your actions in a more transparent way. That's all I'm trying to say, I'm just trying to tell you that in February, there are some things that you're going to try to do, or some people are going to try to do to you, and they're not right. So be cautious, be aware, be mindful of your own actions. Some of them are not really good for you. 10 of Wands on March, and this tells me that you're going to try to do everything at once. There are many projects in your mind. You have many ideas, many alternatives, and you're going to try to do them all at once. And it is not a good idea, however tempting it might be, because if you try to do everything at once, you're not going to be able to dedicate enough time to all of things separately. There is only so much time in a day. You have 24 hours. 8 of them are used in sleeping, if you sleep the ideal 8 hours. Of the 16 remaining hours, you have like 3 hours that are used in eating if you're eating properly. So that leaves us with 13. Use 3 of those hours for leisure time, which you need. You need to have fun. And that leaves only 10 hours. In 10 hours, I would say 5 hours for one project and 5 hours for a different one. And don't try to do 1 hour for 10 projects. It's not gonna work. It's gonna go against you. And basically the advice from this card is that you should really consider the things that you are carrying, because some of those things are actually hurting you, which is the same thing I said with this card. Except this one is related with thoughts, and this one is related with projects. So I think March is gonna be particularly stressful because you're gonna be trying to do many things at once, and it's not really a good idea. And it's not going to pay off, because on April we have the Four of Pentacles reversed, and that tells you that there are going to be some financial issues or complications, or some of the things you're trying to do are not going to work. So this card is at the same time telling you that some of the things are going to probably be failing, but also there's a hidden wisdom in this card, which means that you should let go. Money comes and goes. Don't get too attached to your... I'm not telling you to abandon your home. I'm not telling that. If you think that stability, especially for a Capricorn, these guys, Earth sign, they're really about the Earth achievements and the things they can get in this lifetime. So yes, do have ambitions. Please be ambitious, but don't get too caught up in one failure. They are teaching you something. Failures teach you something. Failures are trying to take away from you things that are not true. Failures are only reflections of yourself, not in the sense that they reflect if you're a good or bad person, but in the sense that they can teach you how to improve. That's all. Failures is an opportunity for growth, and if you learn that now, then maybe on April you're gonna be not feeling so down after all, because you're gonna be realizing that that's only an opportunity for growth. That's all. And then we come to the Five of Swords, which is basically conflict, arguments, debates, disagreements, all around tension around your people, and yeah, basically arguments. It is a month of arguments. It is a month where you're going to be trying to argue with everyone, where you're going to be feeling the tendency to just jump into conflicts, even though because you can win. And I think some of those arguments you're gonna win. But the thing is, you're not winning, you're losing your time with these arguments because they serve nothing. When it comes to ego fights, if you want to think like a Capricorn, then pay attention to what I'm going to say right now, because this is important. As a Capricorn, and I am a Capricorn ascendant myself, so I know what I'm talking about. I feel this all the time. I know exactly what I'm telling you right now. So again, pay attention. As a Capricorn, you have to realize that your greatest asset is your time. No one ever is going to return the time you're using right now. Now, considering that I said two things about time, which is funny because Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, which is the god of time, Kronos. But anyway, seeing as I've mentioned two things about time, one is that there is only so much time in a day. You have only 24 hours, 16, 13, you only have 10 hours. 10 hours worth of focus, of hard work, of dedication, of discipline, in a healthy way. Because yes, of course, you can work 16 hours a day, but that's not going to last long. You're going to be burned out by the end of it, and then the final product is not even going to be what you wanted originally. So instead of going through that, have 10 hours a day to dedicate yourself completely, 100% for sure, but then pull back and relax. That's a smart use of your time. The reason why I'm telling you this is to connect with this idea, which is basically, because time is limited and it's not going to come back, why are you wasting your time on people that are not going to give you anything? Not even in an argument. Yes, sure, if your boss is telling you something about your work, then by all means go ahead and argue. It's a good thing, obviously, with the wisdom to do so in a constructive manner. Don't go around fighting people. But if there's a friend If there's an acquaintance, if there's someone you barely know, and this guy comes and tells you you are doing things wrong, don't argue with them. There's no point. You're not gonna get anything from that. Use your time avoiding conflicts, not because you're a coward, but because you know that conflict doesn't give anything, growth does. Arguing with people doesn't provide anything, you thinking about your own stuff does. So just avoid conflict, don't get into conflict, it's not gonna be worth it in the end. At any rate, when it comes to June, the final month, you have the amazing Queen of Pentacles, which means that, I gotta be honest with you, even though this reading was bumpy, and which is telling me that your own road is gonna be bumpy, you're gonna reach a satisfying goal. You're gonna be satisfied because you'll be able to create something that not only provides you with the means, material means, to sustain you in a good way, but it's also something that you can really devote yourself to and dedicate yourself to and give a piece of yourself, of your own soul, to it. So this is a very good card. It means peace, both in spirit and on earth. It means that you are creating something, that you are building something, and that something is really essential to you, but also something that is able to give value to other people as well. So it is a beautiful card. To sum up, you're gonna have some difficult situations coming to you. The best way you can go about it is don't get attached. Believe in yourself and don't get attached. Things come, things go, in the end only you remain. So don't go around arguing with people. Don't try to do too much at once. Use your time wisely. Use your time wisely. Do the things you can do, and the things you can control, let them go. Let them be. That's for the main theme of the month. So let's go with love now. With love, which starts with the Queen of Cups reverse, which means that you're gonna be disconnected from love this month. I don't really know why. I don't really know the reasons. I only know that the energy you're gonna be experiencing is that you are not gonna be in touch with your feelings. You can't really feel. You don't want to feel love. You don't want to be touched by love. Could also mean that. So naturally, if you don't want to be touched by love, you don't want to open yourself to love and feel everything you can feel, then on February you're going to be experiencing doubts regarding your efforts. Whatever it is that you're doing is not really paying off, and something in you is telling you that this is not going to work. So don't invest time in, again, time. Everything has to do with time in this reading. If you are investing time in love, make sure you are investing time in something that, while it may not be showing you results right now, it is also, you feel it is promising. You know, you feel it is going to give something back. Maybe not right now, but eventually it is going to give you something back. Because this card means that you're wasting your time, you're wasting your effort on things that are not going to give you the return you're seeking for. So instead of keep trying to make these plants grow, just let them be. Go find more fertile grounds. Go find more greener lands, greener pastures. Go find something that you can actually grow stuff in. Don't waste your time. When it comes to March in love, you have the Queen of Swords and Death reversed. Now, this tells me that on March, you're going to have the chance to let go of your own lack of flexibility. It's just that Queen of Swords, she's not very good at loving. She has a very clear mind, but she's also very bitter. She's like having this memory in her wrist. It is a slave band. It's like a rope you use to get slaves, and she is still using it, meaning that even though she is free, she still remembers the time when she was bound. So basically, when it comes reverse, it means that there's a time. This is a time to let go of your bitter thoughts, but you're not gonna want to. You're not gonna want to. If we tie these cards with the main theme, Queen of Cups right below the Magician reverse, it means that The reason why you are disconnected with love is because you don't really believe in yourself. You don't believe you deserve things, and you don't believe you have the chances to get those things in the first place. Sorry about that. So you need to believe in yourself if you want to have love in your life. Now, when it comes to February, the reason why you're not going to be seeing any returns on your actions is because the root of your actions is not pure. Maybe you're lying to yourself and you know your partner is not going to give you the things you're seeking, but you're still in that situation because you think, well, it's going to work someday, even though it's not going to work out someday, and you know that. But you're still there because you're following those illusions which are not true. And when it comes to March, you're going to have the chance to basically change the way you see love from a bitter perspective to a more positive one, but you're not going to want to. And the reason why you're not going to want to, I feel, has to do with the Ten of Wands. This talks about someone who's very... he's not going to change his mind. He's not open to seeing things from a different perspective. He's not even looking forward. He's very tired. But he is willingly choosing to be on that perspective. So this is someone who is not really open to any kind of discussions or changing his mind. So the reason why you're not going to change is because you think that, no, I have to do this. No, I am on my own. No one else is going to help me out. No one else is going to do this for me, so I have to do it on my own. And it doesn't have to be like that, and you're going to realize that it doesn't have to be like that in love, but you still... Maybe you are too bitter, or maybe you are too hurt by the things you have experienced in your past, which I completely understand, but the thing is, even worse than experiencing a bad past is experiencing a bad future. Now the difference about them is that the past you cannot change. The future is always changing based on what you do now. And if you're choosing now to be a bitter person, then guess what? Your future is going to be bitter as well. I'm sorry if this makes you mad or something like that. It's not my intention. I'm just trying to make you face the truth. Change. This is the greatest lesson of the magician. Change has to come from within, not without. But you don't want to, especially in love on March. And on April, you're gonna want to be recognized. You're gonna want to be loved by someone. You want to be admired, but you're not receiving that. And I believe that the reason why you're not receiving that is because you are too attached, and you have to let go. Let go of the need to be recognized. Let go of the need to be admired. Let go of the need to be put on a pedestal, and just place yourself in a pedestal. You know, it's you. You are the center of everything. Again, the magician. You are the center of everything. So don't expect other people to come to you and give you praises. You have to build them yourself, and the way you build them is by acting like a champ and not expecting people to treat you like one. Now, what makes a champion be a champion? That he can fail and try again. That he never gives up. He never stops being optimistic. He never stops trying. He is always acting with an open heart. He is always willing to fail again, not because he wants to fail, but because he knows that in order to win, he has to fail. He has to accept failure. You are like this on April, which means that don't be discouraged, okay? Don't be discouraged. Change comes from within. I get that you deserve to be admired, but don't look for it. Let it happen naturally because of your own pure efforts. Anyway, so we go to May, and the Knight of Pentacles reversed. This talks about you losing perspective of things, you becoming impatient, you doing things in a wrong way. Don't lose sight of the greater plan. Don't lose sight. All of this is just a part of a bigger, larger picture. So don't become blinded to the bigger picture, right? So to the I forgot the word, the expression, long-term plan. Don't forget that. You're working for yourself. You are working for yourself. Love yourself first. That's a long-term plan. Other people comes next. You have to put yourself first in any dimension of life. And when it comes to love, put your own projects. Don't give up on love. Don't give up realize that maybe things are going to fail now, but don't become impatient. Don't rush things. Be patient, be smart, and be at peace, which is what you're going to get. Yeah, I'm sorry this reading sounds like really bad. I know it's bumpy. There are a lot of phases and stages that you're going to be suffering, or not suffering, but you're going to be in conflict. You're going to be tense. You're going to be not wanting to let go. You're going to be not sure if the things you're doing are right or not. You're going to become impatient, I understand. But everything is for a reason, and you have to understand that. If you have, this is the second major arcana that appears in love, the first one being death, reversed. But even with even with the death reversed, you still have the High Priestess at the end of your reading in love, which means that you're going to be trusting yourself. You're going to trust yourself, the universe, everything. You're going to know that you're in your truth, and that everything happens when it has to happen. You trust life, but at the same time, you will learn that you can trust yourself. So, which is why, even though every month seems in conflict, at the very end of this reading, you're going to have peace in both earth and in both feelings, which is a great reading because it resonates with your base energy, which is the Hangman reversed, right on top of the Page of Pentacles. Now, these two cards tell me that this process is meant for you to realize that you have control over some actions, not every action. Yes, there are some things that belong to life, and those things you cannot determine, but you can always determine what you do based on that, and that only gives your power back, which is basically the purpose of this whole reading. The reason why you're gonna have so many conflicts is because you have to come back to your center. And your center is yourself, not your love, not your money, not your house, not your job, not your home in Las Vegas. I don't know what I'm talking about. But I'm saying that nothing you can mention is your center. The only thing that is your center is your own very self. And as long as you're okay with yourself, then you can be connected with everything. This is only a learning process. You're going to learn here that while you do have to reach a space where you can let go of things, you can never doubt yourself. You always have to believe in yourself, that you can do everything you want. Some way or another. Maybe not the way you expect, but there is a way. And when it comes to love, again, we're talking about the Hangman reverse, which means you stop being a victim and start taking responsibility over your life, and the right you have, realize the right you have to be happy on your own, with your own things. And again, it comes just on top of the Page of Pentacles, which means that this is a new beginning for you, which you're gonna reach. With some obstacles, with some conflicts, but you're gonna reach it in both dimensions, both spiritually, like in the greater perspective, and when it comes to love, you're gonna be at peace as well. So this is a process where you take your power back. That's it, basically. This is a process where you have to learn that you have to let go of things, that you need to realize some things in your life shouldn't be there anymore, so you should let them go, because the more you spend time with them, the more they're not going to give you anything back, and the more bitter you're going to be, so the harder it's going to be for you to change. I wish you could change in a heartbeat, and you are capable of that, but you're not going to let it, because you're going to be too much of a, basically too convinced about your own ideas, which is good. It is good, but just don't go overboard. Some things you can control, other things you can't, and now you're going to learn the difference between the two of them. God, give me the strength to change the things I can change, the temperance to accept the things I cannot change, and the wisdom to be able to know, to distinguish between both. Some things you can change, some things you gotta just deal with. Don't be bitter by the things that fail. Don't get attached to your successes. Reach balance, and you will. And I'm very happy for you. Keep your head high. Don't be beaten down by life. Don't give up. Even if you fail one battle, you're still going to win the war in the end. So don't be discouraged. Think about the long-term plan. Don't be discouraged. Think about the long-term plan. You're not fighting for the present, even though you are, paradoxically, but you are fighting to improve your present until the point you can be at peace, which comes from within. It is a matter of focus. Where are you focusing? Are you focusing on the problems, or are you focusing on the things you can control, which is you, your actions? Anyway, I hope this reading resonates with you. I hope it works. Well, I guess we'll see in 6 more months. If it does, please send me a message telling me that it did work and that you're very happy for me, and I'll be very happy for you and for me as well, which motivates me to keep going with this. But if it doesn't work, you're more than welcome to come back and tell me that I should stop doing these stupid readings because they don't do anything, and I won't listen to you. But I mean, I'm not gonna stop, but I will learn from your comments, whatever it is to be learned. So anyway, I wish you the best, guys. I hope you like the reading. I invite you to subscribe, to give me a thumbs up, to follow me on my Facebook page, and in case you want a private reading, you can contact me on Facebook or on my email, which is right in the description. Anyway, wish you the best. Have a nice week.